Okay guys, the wait is finally over. The very first version of my custom ComfyUI node is here. Today I'm going to walk you through how to use the Vantage Long Video node to manage long, prompt-driven video inside ComfyUI. This setup consists of three nodes working together. The Vantage Project node for managing your projects and prompts. A single model sampler perfect for WAN 2.1 or WAN 2.2 AIO, and a dual model sampler designed for WAN 2.2 high and low noise models. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to use them to manage long-running, prompt-driven video generations, extend your projects, and even resume or regenerate from any prompt index. VantageProject Node is basically a lightweight project manager for ComfyUI. What it does is save your prompt scripts to disk as a JSON file and then return a serialized string of project metadata back into your ComfyUI graph. When you use the node, it creates a folder called Vantage inside your Comfy root directory. Each project gets one JSON file for your project data and its own directory by ID, which contains output subfolders like 0, 1, 2, and so on. Now let's talk about the important fields you'll be working with. Project name. This is the human-friendly name used for the JSON file name when you're starting a new project. Positive text. This is your multi-line prompt script. Each line becomes one prompt for a 5-second video clip. Start prompt. If you set this to 0, it'll start fresh from the beginning of your script. But if you enter a positive value like 2 or 5, the node will jump straight to that prompt index and run from there. You can pick an existing file from project list and hit load project to load the project. The node will automatically figure out the next start prompt by scanning your output folders for that project. If you want to start fresh, click new project. That clears the project name and the prompt editor so you can begin again. And if you've added or removed projects, just hit refresh list to update the dropdown. When entering your script, type or paste scene prompts line by line into the box. Each line is one prompt step. You can render them sequentially or rerun specific sections by setting a positive start prompt. For example, if you want to regenerate starting from third prompt, just set start prompt to 2. The node will resume from there without redoing earlier steps. Alright, let's try out the WAN 2.2 AIO mode workflow first. For this demo, we'll use an image of a king sitting on a throne as our starting image. I'll set the project name to king, and we'll begin with a 10-second video using just 2 prompts. Let's run it. As you can see, the model is now processing the first prompt. It shows that a total of 161 frames need to be generated, and the current window is 81 frames. Since this is the first run, produced frames are still at 0. Now, the 81 frames have finished generating, and the balance left is 80 frames. The model is moving on to the next prompt in the list. And just like that, our 10-second video is complete. When we ran this project, the node created a Vantage folder inside the ComfyUI root directory. Inside we can see a project file called king.json, a project folder with a unique project ID, and subfolders named 0 and 1, each corresponding to one prompt from our list. Inside these numbered folders are the generated frames for each prompt. These frames are what keep continuity and allow us to extend the project later. Now, since this was a new project, we need to hit refresh project list and then load project. If you skip this step and run it again, the node will overwrite your old project with a fresh one. After loading the project, notice how the start prompt automatically updates to 2. That's because we already generated 2 prompts, indexes 0 and 1. So, if we now add new prompts to the script, the workflow will continue right from there, building on the previously generated data, without the need to re-render everything. If you ever want to regenerate an earlier section, simply set the start prompt back to that value. For example, setting it to 1 will recreate the second clip and everything after it while preserving continuity. Alright, let's run it again, this time adding 3 new prompts, bringing the total to 5 prompts for a 25-second video. And here it is, a 25-second full clip built step by step with seamless continuity. This is how you can manage, extend, and regenerate your video projects with the Vantage Project node. Simple, powerful, and flexible. Okay, now let's try out the WAN 2.2 high-low noise workflow. In this workflow, you'll notice there's an extra input called model init alongside the high and low models. Let me explain why. Sometimes, when using Lightning LoRA with I2V models, the starting frames don't exactly match the reference image you provided. To fix that, we pass the high noise model, without LoRa's, into model init. Then we run it with a slightly higher CFG of 3.5 for just one step. This step corrects the starting image issue. Now, this is optional and needed only if using Lightning LoRA. If you don't connect model init, the workflow will simply run high first, then low as usual. But if you're using Lightning LoRA, I recommend keeping it connected. For this demo, we'll use an image of two desert raiders walking away from their ship as our starting image. We'll call this project Soul, and we'll generate a 15-second clip using 3 prompts. All right, our 15-second clip is ready. As you can see, the last segment didn't turn out as planned. One soldier completely blocked the other, which could cause continuity issues in later scenes. No problem though, this is exactly where the project system comes in handy. We'll set the start prompt value to 2. That means it will regenerate only the third prompt, leaving the first 2 untouched. Let's run it. You can see it's now reprocessing the last prompt. The node automatically removed the old frames for that prompt and started fresh, using the final image from the second prompt as the new starting frame. And there we go. The results this time are much closer to what we wanted. Both soldiers remain visible at the end of the frame, so no continuity issues later on. This is just version 1 of the node, and I'll be adding more project management features and improvements in the coming days. This custom node can be installed from GitHub. The link is in the description. Here are the steps. Go to your ComfyUI custom nodes directory, clone the repository from GitHub, restart ComfyUI, and that's it. So stay tuned for updates. And if you found this useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next.